for 2000 here. Showing something awesome I'm going to be doing in this video. It's got nothing to do with railroads or railways, but it is going to be an interesting video, this one. I'm going to be doing how to make a Trimphone dial going when the tritium radioactive tube doesn't glow anymore. Because with radioactive stuff, it always has a half-life, and after half-life since 1970s is about 1 week. It goes half-life, then 2 weeks it doesn't glow anymore. I'm going to show you how to make the tritium in a Trimphone 722 or the Snowden range Trimphones, and show you how to make the tritium tube glowing by using a 12-watt power supply, green LEDs, and 1K resistor to lower the amps down for the volts down for the LEDs. This will be a requested video of Andy's shed, so stay tuned and enjoy the video. This is going to be an interesting subject. It's got nothing to do with the railways, but some of our railway enthusiasts might find this interesting. Right, this is the bit I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with the LEDs. Screws the noise in the battery. It's got a Grand Prix where I'm going to zoom in on the building. See where that building is, that building is right there in the park. They're doing Grand Prix. That's what the noise we can hear is. Where I've done, I've taken the tritium tube out of this telephone, what's a Trimphone. What I'm going to do, and I've got 3 LEDs always set in the way it's supposed to be. These are old Christmas tree LEDs, will go over on Christmas. What I'm going to do is set 3 of them in here, where the tritium tube was. I removed it very carefully without breaking it, and I've still got the tube. I'm not going to throw it away. I'm going to set LEDs in there like that, as you can see. Wire them up with wires, and what I'm going to do on the 4-plan phone, so I said, Andy, if you watch, I said I was going to wire them up to the phone, but I got a better idea. Because the 4-plan phone sockets are wired up with 4 cores in them, I've got a 12-watt power supply here. I'm going to connect this into the socket, and on the blue and white, well, I've got spare. But what I've done to this phone to make it so I can do as possible, I put I put a resistor across the 2 terminals to make that one is 1, and I've got the white and blue here. We're going to be my 2 power feeds for the light bulbs. So I'll come back in about a few minutes when I've done it, so you see what it looks like if it turns out. What I'll do is short clip. We got aircraft going over, Spitfires going over for the Grand Prix. They always fly these special planes over, whatever they call them. Well, they're not called Spitfires, I'm going to call them that, I can't remember what they're called. But what I've done so far, I've blue tacked the LEDs into the phone dial and wired them up so they have the wires. And what I've done, I feed them from the back out from the cover to put the cover back on. I'm going to get used to where the blue thing is with a resistor, and so when I power up the phone, how we call it, power supply, it should light up these LEDs up, and it'll light up the dial. And it'll be on like it was back in the 70s. So I'll come back when I've got it all done. This one, I'll put the cover on. It should be able to be slot straight over it. Without any issues. That slots right over the where the LEDs are. So that won't show. You won't see the LED. You won't think there's anything done with the dial original. So I've got the tritium tube sitting over there behind that 746. But I will put it in a plastic bag and keep it safe. No, it's not radioactive anymore, but I will keep it safe away from people. No, but that's my thing. I'll come back when I got it wired up. Well, as you can see now, I've actually wired it up, and you can see the LEDs are quite good. The only thing it's not lining up is number 6, but it won't bother me. What I've done, I've wired it to the white and blue pair of the line cord, and then just used the resistor jumping across to that one. They're just dummy terminals anyway. Now I've got the power supply wired into the phone socket, so it goes via the line cord into the back of the phone, so I don't have to ruin the phone. But if you live in the UK, you use the blue wire bell, but you might have to bypass the problem by hang on. You might have to get a do it with a GPO junction box and just bypass the white wire and just link the bypass the blue and just link it into the bell circuit. You might to get going like this, but what I've done is wired into the thing. So I've wired it up like this, so the resistor is jumping from the green terminal to the white, and then I have it linked like that. So I can just using the green and red as the phone line, and then the white and blue as the power for the LEDs. Looks quite good, but let me put the case back and I'll do another clip soon. As you can see, I'm in my bathroom with the blind down. Let me shut this door because it's a bit more darker. Look how cool this looks. This looks like it's back. This is like being back in the 1970s. As it never was in the 70s, but this looks like how it was being in the 70s with the trim phones glowing. And there's the phone. All that is LEDs. And it's not powered by the phone line, as I will show actually. Here's a actually. As you can see, there's the line cable. All I've done is wire the power supply into the line cord, and then on the blue and white power I'm using is the power side of for the light bulbs. But Andy, you're going to enjoy seeing this on video because you will see how I did it, and it's similar, but you might have to get a 6-pair line cord to do it with a junction box because I'm using the red and white, the red and green as phone, and the white and blue as the 12-volt feed, step ended as a resistor, step down to 3 volts. But that looks so cool. No joke, it looks so realistic with the LEDs lighting up the dial. But now, that's how to install LEDs to replace the tritium radioactive tube in a 722 Trimphone or Snowden Trimphone with rotary dial.